Mario's grand debut on the Game Boy. Well, here it is. Mario doesn't look too good. This is the black sheep of the Mario games. That doesn't make it bad though, it's just different. On the surface, this seems to be your typical Mario ROM. Run to the right and get to the end, all the while collecting coins, stomping on and avoiding enemies. It's all what you'd expect from a Mario game. The second you actually play the game though, it feels like you fucking fell off a cliff and into space. Because Mario is all about that momentum. Mario has a lot of weight to him, so getting a running start before a jump is key. My take on the gameplay is to hold the run button and tap the D-pad as you move, opposed to holding the D-pad like in other Mario games while running. Doing this resets Mario's momentum, and you tap and Mario's jump gets bigger. This means platforming has a little more depth to it, which is nice. It may seem strange, but I like it. It makes you think about each move. This game does not take place in the Mushroom Kingdom. It takes place in Sarasa Land. Jeez, what a name. You're to rescue Daisy from the clutches of evil, not Peach, which means Mario is a cheating bastard. All of the other classic Mario characters like Bowser and Toad are also absent. It really seems that this game is set in an alternate universe, or a bad trip from all the mushrooms Mario eats. Oh god. Some classic enemies are here, like the Goomba and Koopa. Wait, the Koopas explode? Okay. There's also the Piranha Plants. That's about all the returning baddies. Oh, and Bullet Bills. Other enemies include lions, snakes, oh, look at them, he's cute. Robots, whose heads fly around like a boomerang frisbee, whatever, okay. Flying totem poles, running Easter Island heads, seahorses, weird skeleton fish, plants that shoot fire, okay, got it. And ninjas. What the fucking a mother? Ninjas? Strange. All of these enemies are sprawled out in 4 worlds, opposed to 8 worlds in other Mario games, and is split up into 3 stages, each ending with a boss. The boss fights are as easy as taking a piss. No real thought, my friends. Cue the run-through of the bosses. Okay, go. I will say the final boss is pretty tense to some extent though. Speaking of tense, the game's difficulty is actually perfect. It scales gradually as you progress through each level. Most levels often throw new enemies, obstacles, and ideas to the player. World 1 is easy, World 2 is tougher, World 3 is where I start dropping the lives, and World 4 is pretty tense. I'm mostly Tiny Mario in this world, so yeah. The adventure also spices things up with auto-scrolling shooting levels, found at the end of Worlds 2 and 4 respectively. They control well and fits as the game is already absurdity. An absurdity I'm not so fond of though are the graphics. They are pretty bad, but it's one of the first Game Boy games, so I guess I can let it slide. The graphics are what you get when OG Mario sprites get shrunk down to microscopic levels and put against the background of a cheap LCD game. The proportions are also odd, as I hope you can see. What you can hear though is actually really good. The music is pretty memorable to me and catchy. Just listen. In my opinion, one of the best soundtracks in a Mario game. Other great things about this game is that the game is insanely replayable. I mean, it better be since the game is 30 minutes long. Forget your lunch break, play Super Mario Land instead.
And starve.
There's plenty of secret rooms to find, there's bonus rooms which grant lives, if you use those skills to get to the top. There's this floating platform I accidentally found. Alright. When you beat the game, there's a second quest to play. The levels just have more enemies. Not for me though, but it's there. Also, platforming isn't bad once you get the feel down. The game may feel alright, but what really isn't is the hit detection. It can be precise, which is what we want in the game, or it can just be janky-danky. You kidding? Sometimes the levels show off some inaccessible places and looks weird. I want to be up there. I want to go back over there. But wait, you can't backtrack in this game. Whoopsies. My final complaint is that the game can fail to detect button presses, making me look like a fool. Despite the flaws, I believe Super Mario Land is really fun. It may be unrefined in some areas, but fun nonetheless. It may control strangely, but I like this unique take on Mario's movement. This is one of my favorite Mario games, by the way. It's short, sweet, and packed with adventure, so play it if you must. It's a blast. Also, there's a fan-made version of the game, New Super Mario Land. So get yourself an emulator and grab the ROM and play this. It's got the moveset from the new Super Mario Bros. Game. It's pretty accurate to the original and does away with time and score. The graphics are pretty impressive for a Super Nintendo ROM. This version also has actual backgrounds. I still prefer the original because I'm that kind of guy. Check it out though, it's also a blast. Finn. My penis. Mario's Grand Adventure debut. Fuck. Super Mario Land. Super duper woober tubular tits Mario Land. All of the other main characters in the classic Mario series like Bowser, fuck.